Holy shit. Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in. This is my 22 KTM 890R, and I thought I'd just do a quick review as it will be 20,000 kilometers by the end of today. And I thought I'd just go through the last 18 months of ownership. I bought the bike back in February of 2023, and just go over a couple of the mods that I've done, some of the issues I've had, and yeah, some of the good things, the bad things, all of it. Okay, yeah, so some of the mods I've done here are the AXP skid plate. Wasn't cheap, but so far I'm pretty happy with it. The only thing I don't like is the plastic in front of the exhaust there. It melts, so I might replace that with a aluminum one eventually. The other thing I've done is the nice CNC 2-finger clutch mod. That works really well. Love that part. The other thing for the nice CNC is the front sprocket cover. Makes cleaning super easy. The only problem with it, I guess, is the coating has kind of faded. It used to be a little brighter orange, but not really too concerned. Does the job. Well, and the other thing I like about this skid plate is I can jack the bike up on the plate with a motorcycle jack, so I get both wheels off the ground for maintenance. Here I have the Moto GPS bracket, but I'm using it for my phone, so I just had to get the adapter for the quad lock to go on there, but it works mint. I also have the Camel heat shield. I don't know if it really does anything. Looks alright. If anything, it helps keep a bit more dirt off of the shock. And the other mod I've done to this bike is the intake. I put the Twin Air oil foam filter on it from day one, so at 0 kilometers it's had that on there, so the airbox is pristine. I also greased all the sealing areas with grease. And last thing is this Nelson Riggs bag. It's actually the commuter bag. I should have went with the Enduro one. I have broken these clips a few times, but the crap I've put it through, it's amazing. It's actually held up. It's not too bad. So for tires, the bike came with the Michelin Aniki Wilds, and they were great tires. However, the rear tire was worn out at around 4,500 kilometers. It's like 2,800 miles. The front lasted a little bit longer. It lasted 12,000 K or 7,500 miles. But I switched the rear to the Motaz RLZ, and this tire has been fantastic. It is noisy, but it's so good on-road and off-road. My first RLZ, I got 8,500 kilometers on it, or 5,200 miles. This one right now is at around 6,000 kilometers, and still pretty good condition, or 3,700 miles. For the front, I went to the Bridgestone AX41. This tire's been really good. This tire here, I got about 7,500 kilometers on it, and I will need to replace it soon just because of the cupping. It's kind of hard to see with the dirt on it, but you can see here they're starting to cup. So, but it's been a really good tire. So the way I use this bike, I'd say is about 60% off-road, 40% on-road. Where I live, there's trails and fire roads about 15 to 20 kilometers or 12 miles away from where I live, and like here I can be on these trails like in 20 minutes kind of thing. So I just love that, being able to leave my house and just be on these trails like in 20 minutes, and then back on the road and off to the next trail and whatnot. The trails around here are like this is very sandy. They can also be loose rock, mud, and clay. So I put this bike through its paces, and it handles it very well. Yes, I've dropped the bike a few times. Not a lot actually, and it's usually just from doing something difficult. But yesterday I managed to modify my clutch lever. So that's the first time I've dropped it in a while. But yeah. So as for maintenance, I do all my own maintenance. I did the first oil change at the 1000k, 600 miles, and I used their Motor X 10W50 Power Synth oil. And then every 5,000 kilometers I was doing the oil changes using that same oil. Recently, when I say recently, probably around 13,000, I've been doing the oil changes at every 3,000 kilometers. I'll get back into that later. I replaced the oil jet for the clutch at 15,000 kilometers or 9,300 miles. I did the 15,000 kilometer inspection. I pulled out the jet. I actually didn't see anything wrong with it, but I just replaced it anyways because they're not that expensive when you're in there. I just replaced it. The chain, that's the original chain sprockets. The front sprocket is starting to show a bit of wear, but I really maintain my chain well. I always clean it, degrease it, and then re-oil it using Motul off-road stuff. Works really good. But over this winter I'll probably have to change the chain and sprockets just because of the mileage. So the issues I've been having with this bike. I've always had this cold start issue. I've tried everything. I tried using a low-grade fuel. That seemed to work a little bit, but then I'd get knock. And really, you shouldn't be running the low-grade fuel on these bikes. And then I discovered somewhere if you just let the bike cycle, the throttle bodies, not once but twice, just let it do its thing. It takes about 25 seconds or so, and then start it. That seemed to help for the longest time. However, now it's kind of just gone back to the way it was. It's hit and miss. Sometimes it starts right up on 2 cylinders. Other times it won't start at all right away. And then other times it'll start on the 1 cylinder, cough for a little bit, and then pick up on the 2nd cylinder. Pain in the butt. When I first had the bike, I would have stalling issues. It would flame out on me, and couldn't figure out why. That was probably in the first 3 to 5,000 kilometers. I took it back to KTM. They didn't really do anything with it, but it doesn't seem to do it anymore. I don't know why it was doing it, but I know others have had issues with that too. You just pull on the clutch and it would stall, so anyways, it doesn't do that anymore, so that's good. I get the condensation in the TFT. I don't really care about that. It doesn't leave a stain. Happens once in a while. I'm not that concerned about it. My clutch switch failed out on the trail, so I couldn't start it in gear, but I got a new one from KTM and replaced it. That's fun. You got to take the entire headlight assembly off for that. When I went to adjust my preload way back, I noticed the shock was leaking. I thought it was just the shock seal, but it turned out it was the actual housing on that preload. There was a hairline crack in it, so they replaced it under warranty, and it hasn't leaked since. And then I had a left front fork seal leaking, but I just took the dust covers off and bought one of those seal cleaners, cleaned up both of them, and I haven't had an issue since. So I'm just gonna add that to my regular maintenance routine of just cleaning the seals out. So, do I have any concerns with this bike going into the next 10,000 kilometers? Yes, I do. I'm sure everybody knows about the camshaft issues. That is definitely one of my concerns. I haven't noticed any lack of power or any additional noise. It's always been noisy from day one, like all the others. But this is where I'm doing my oil changes now every 3,000 kilometers and just making record of that. You know, so they can't tell me I'm not doing my oil changes enough. I'm doing it way ahead of schedule. So I will be bringing it to KTM for them to do the valve clearance, probably at around 24 or 25,000 K, so ahead of schedule of the 30,000. And at that time they can check the camshafts, and hopefully it doesn't need them. But if it does, I'm hoping they're gonna look after me. Overall, this bike has been amazing. I love it so much. It feels so good. It does everything I want it to do. It's tough. I mean, yeah, like you know, when I get home and think of the places I've taken this thing and how it gets me through it, I'll throw some pictures in, and it's just like, holy crap. It's quite the bike. Yeah, so I mean, this bike, I mean, the confidence level it gives me is incredible, right? And that's it, you know? Go from that to the road. Excellent. And the other thing with this bike is fun. It's just so much fun to ride. The power, the handling, the ergonomics. I mean, for me, I'm 5'9", 245 pounds. It fits me like a glove. I have my windscreen at the lowest setting. It just puts my helmet in clean air. I tried it at the higher setting and I get too much buffeting. I also have the Aprilia Touareg mirrors on here.
I like the original mirrors. They work good, but I just prefer these. And they just bolt right up. And they're pretty tough too. But yeah, this bike has been good. I just hope it's going to continue to be good. I guess we'll update you later. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. And if you like my videos, please subscribe. Have a good day.